Good morning. I'm Goro Keita. Today is July 1, 2026, and the markets are waking up to a seismic shock. China's DeepSeek has triggered a brutal AI rout, sending Nvidia down 1 and dragging the Nasdaq into the red. But beneath the panic, there's a deeper story about market psychology, geopolitical tech rivalry, and the real value of AI infrastructure. Let's cut through the noise and find the signal. The next layer changes everything. I'm Goro Keita, independent analyst. I don't trade on emotion, and neither should you. Today, we're dissecting the DeepSeek panic, the macro signals from IHSG and crypto, and a few tech stories that reveal where the real innovation is happening. This is objective analysis, not financial advice. Let's dive in. What most people miss is simple. Starting with the macro picture. IHSG closed at 5,924.36, up 0.2 with moderate volume. That's a bullish tick, but it's a whisper compared to the roar from Wall Street. The Indonesian index is holding steady, suggesting domestic resilience. But when the US AI sector bleeds, emerging markets feel the pressure. The question is whether this is a temporary dip or the start of a broader risk-off shift. Seen from another angle, the problem shifts. The IHSG's modest gain masks a critical divergence. While US tech is crashing, Indonesian markets are relatively calm. This could be a lag effect, or it could signal that the DeepSeek panic is overblown for non-AI sectors. However, if the sell-off deepens, foreign capital flight from emerging markets is a real risk. Watch for IHSG support at 5,800. The consequence becomes clearer here. Now, crypto. Bitcoin at $64.241. Up 0.5 and Ethereum at $1.822. Up 1.7 MPAT, both are green. But the moves are tepid. The real story is Ethereum's Tega climb on a tokenization boom. Real-world asset tokenization is gaining traction, and ETH is the primary settlement layer. This is a fundamental shift, not just a price pump. Meanwhile, Bitcoin is stuck in a range, with Real Vision's Jamie Coutts calling it the late stages of a bear market. Behind this signal, a larger pressure builds. But crypto isn't all rosy. Bonzo Lend on Hedera lost $7 million in an Oracle exploit. The attacker manipulated price feeds to drain the protocol. This is a stark reminder that DeFi still has critical security gaps. Oracle manipulation is an old attack vector, yet projects keep falling for it. The market's muted reaction suggests desensitization, but that's dangerous. Each exploit erodes trust in the ecosystem. The next step narrows the search. Let's pivot to the tech news that's shaking the world. DeepSeek, a Chinese AI model, has sparked a massive sell-off in US AI stocks. Nvidia down 1 Broadcom and others in double digits. The Wall Street Journal argues the panic is overblown, that US AI titans won't be sunk by a single competitor, but the market is pricing in a real threat, that China can produce competitive AI with less advanced hardware. If true, the entire AI capex thesis unravels. At this stage, the pattern breaks. The DeepSeek story is a stress test for the AI narrative. For years, the market assumed that US companies had an unassailable lead in AI, backed by massive spending on Nvidia GPUs. If DeepSeek proves that efficient algorithms can rival brute force compute, then the trillion-dollar capex cycle is at risk. But remember, one model does not a revolution make. The US still leads in ecosystem, talent, and deployment. What makes this matter is key. Meanwhile, OpenAI is betting on families. They're hiring a product manager for household experiences, caregivers, older adults. This is a strategic shift from enterprise to consumer, from productivity to companionship. It signals that OpenAI sees the next growth frontier in embedding AI into daily life, not just office workflows. But it also raises privacy and dependency concerns. Are we ready for AI nannies? Finally, the clues point to the question. Another story. Even Realities is launching smart glasses without a camera. They focus on productivity, meetings, translations, presentations. No camera means no privacy backlash. This is a smart bet. The market is tired of surveillance tech. If they can deliver a seamless AR experience without the creep factor, they might carve out a niche, but can they compete with Meta and Apple? The hardware race is brutal. Look at the first clue. On the cybersecurity front, CISA admitted they had to build their incident playbook during an active breach. A contractor's employee exposed passwords on a public GitHub repo. This is a damning indictment of operational readiness. If the US's top cyber agency is improvising, what does that say about the rest of the government? Expect increased regulation on contractor security and GitHub scanning. The next layer changes everything. Now, the GitHub radar. First up, Withmer/OS taxonomy with 352 stars. It's a JavaScript project that seems to define an operating system taxonomy. No description, but the star count suggests it's solving a real problem, likely standardizing how we classify OS components. In a world of fragmented tech stacks, a common taxonomy is gold. Watch this space. What most people miss is simple. Second, Spigford/knockoff with 757 stars. A Chrome extension that filters pseudo-brand junk from Amazon. This is a direct response to the flood of fake, low-quality products on the platform. It's a consumer empowerment tool, but it also highlights Amazon's failure to police its marketplace. Expect Amazon to either acquire or copy this. The extension's popularity shows user frustration is at a tipping point. Seen from another angle, the problem shifts. Finally, Maxime Rivis/Riddle with 395 stars. A Rust project that turns the remarkable Paper Pro into a magical diary. Tom Riddle's diary from Harry Potter. Write with a pen, and the device responds in flowing script. It's a brilliant blend of nostalgia and tech, but it also showcases Rust's growing role in embedded systems. For developers, it's a reminder that Rust is eating the world, one niche at a time. The consequence becomes clearer here. To wrap up, today's narrative is dominated by the DeepSeek panic, but the real story is the market's fragile faith in AI dominance. IHSG holds steady, crypto shows selective strength, and tech news reveals both innovation and vulnerability. The GitHub radar reminds us that real value is being built, often away from the hype. Stay skeptical, stay informed. This is Goro, Keita. If you found value, subscribe and hit the bell. See you tomorrow.